This video is about the single mom stood near the concert hall and a rich stranger offered to carry her bag. If this story touches your heart, please mention where you are watching from in the comments. Please like the video and share your thoughts in comments. The evening air was thick with excitement, the distant thrum of music echoing from the concert hall, wrapping the streets in an intoxicating embrace. May stood outside, her heart fluttering in anticipation, though her mind was clouded with more immediate concerns. She adjusted the strap of her heavy bag on her shoulder, glancing at the sky, a palette of oranges and purples fading into the night. Mia had always loved music, a passion that had been sidelined after becoming a single mom. Her son, Noah, had promised to watch her favorite band perform, but when a last-minute babysitter cancellation had left her scrambling, she had resolved to attend alone. "Hey, Mom." Noah's voice rang in her mind, a blend of excitement and childish innocence. He had been counting down the days to this concert, his own budding love for music evident in his wide-eyed enthusiasm. A pang of guilt struck her. She had wanted to give him this experience, but now feared she would be guilty of robbing him of it. As she stood there, lost in thought, she noticed a figure emerging from the crowd, a tall man in a tailored suit, his confident stride making him seem as though he belonged on a stage himself. She felt an inexplicable pulse of energy shift in the air around him. He caught her gaze, and a small, charismatic smile broke across his face. "I need some help with that." His voice was smooth, with a hint of charm that sent a shiver down her spine. She narrowed her eyes, wary. "I am all right, thanks." The man tilted his head slightly, a glimmer of amusement dancing in his eyes. "Are you sure? That bag looks like it is carrying the weight of the world." Mia found herself blushing, embarrassment washing over her. It was true, she had stuffed in everything from her purse to picnic blanket, remnants of her last-minute preparations for the concert. "It is just a little heavy, that's all. I can manage." "Then let me help lighten your load," he insisted, stepping closer. "I am James. I promise I am not a serial killer, just a gentleman trying to lend a hand." She hesitated. There was something reassuring about his demeanor, though the last thing she wanted was to appear helpless. Her independence was hard-won, a fortress built from years of struggle. "Mia," she said reluctantly, extending her hand, which he took gently, shaking it with a warmth that seeped into her skin. "Pleasure to meet you, Mia." He reached for the heavy bag, and before she could protest further, he lifted it effortlessly, a smile playing on his lips. "See, not so bad when you have help." Together, they began walking toward the entrance of the concert hall, the sound of the band warming up becoming more pronounced with each step. "So, are you a fan of the band?" he asked, glancing sideways at her. "They were my favorite," she replied, her heart quickening at the thought of the music. "I've loved them since college. I used to go to all their shows." She turned her gaze toward him, surprised to find the intensity of his interest. "And you? Are you just here for the music, or do you have ulterior motives?" James chuckled, a rich sound that made her smile in return. "I'll admit I am more of a corporate guy than a concert goer, but I thought I'd try to enjoy some real culture for once." His honesty threw her off balance. She wasn't used to men like him, wealthy, polished, and effortlessly charming. "Culture? Or just a break from the office?" she teased back, trying to mask her intrigue. "Touch," he replied, his eyes sparkling with a hint of mischief. "But I promise I am not just a suit, I have layers." "Like an onion," she quipped, and for a moment they were both laughing, the world outside fading away. As they reached the entrance, the vibrant atmosphere swirled around them. Laughter, chatter, and the rhythmic beats of music pulsed like a living creature. Mia felt a flutter of excitement, but also a wave of self-consciousness. "Do you have someone waiting for you inside?" James asked, his tone suddenly serious. "No, just me," she admitted, surprised by the vulnerability of her confession. "Just you," he echoed, tilting his head again, studying her with an intensity that made her heart race. "A brave move. Just a necessary one." She shrugged, attempting to appear nonchalant, but she could feel her walls beginning to crack. "I have a son, so it's not always easy to get out." "Ah, a single mom," he mused, his gaze softening. "I admire that. You redoing it alone?" The question hung in the air, prompting her to swallow hard. "It is not always easy, but I manage," she replied, her voice less confident than she intended. James nodded, understanding now showing in his expression. "I can only imagine. Single parents are superheroes." They stepped inside the concert hall, and the energy enveloped them. The lights dimmed, and the band began to play. The music coursed through the air, vibrant and electric, pulling her heartstrings taut. Mia turned to James, eyes wide with excitement. This is it. He grinned at her enthusiasm, and for a moment it felt like they were the only two people in the room. Let us find a good spot, he suggested, and they maneuvered through the crowd, finally settling near the front. As the music washed over them, Mia closed her eyes, letting the sound seep into her soul. She swayed gently, lost in the moment. When she felt the warmth beside her, James had moved closer, almost instinctively. "Isn't it incredible?" she asked, overwhelmed by the energy of the performance. "More than I expected," he admitted, his voice low. "You were right, this is real culture." His gaze lingered on her, and a flicker of awareness set her heart racing. She turned to face him fully, her pulse quickening. "I am glad you were here," she said, her voice barely a whisper, the connection between them sparking like electricity. James leaned in slightly, their faces inches apart. "And I am glad you didn't resist my offer to help. You know, you were much more fun than I anticipated." Mia felt a blush rise to her cheeks, biting her lip to suppress a smile. "Well, don't get too used to me. I am just a simple mom, after all." A simple mom with a passion for music, he counted, his eyes glimmering with admiration. "And a wit sharper than most." The compliment caught her off guard, and a mix of warmth and uncertainty swelled within her. "You flatter me." "Only stating the truth, but tell me, what else lies behind that unassuming facade?" Mia hesitated, the weight of his gaze making her heart race. Was she ready to reveal more of herself? What would he think of the life she had built, the struggles she faced each day? Before she could respond, an unexpected loud cheer erupted from the audience, pulling their attention back to the stage. The band had launched into a familiar song, and the crowd swelled with energy. James shot her a look, his expression playful. "What do you say we dance?" She laughed, the nervous tension dissipating. "I am not sure I can keep up with you." "Just follow my lead," he replied, encouraging her with a sweet sincerity that sent another rush of warmth through her. With that, they began to sway to the rhythm, their movements natural and instinctive. As they danced, Mia felt a strange blend of exhilaration and vulnerability. The music swirled around them, and for the first time in ages, she felt a spark of something more, something alive, something dangerous. But as the night wore on, uncertainty crept in. Was this connection real, or merely a fleeting moment in a crowded concert hall? Would he still look at her the same way once the music stopped and reality returned? As the last song faded into the night, Mia grappled with the weight of their interactions. But just as she pondered her next move, James leaned closer, his breath warm against her ear. "Can I see you again?" Caught off guard, she hesitated. A rush of emotions surged within her: fear, excitement, the weight of responsibility. I don't know," she finally replied, battling with her thoughts. James pulled back slightly, a flicker of uncertainty crossing his features. "No pressure, I get it, life isn't always simple." "No, it is really not," she admitted, feeling the need to explain. "I am a single mom, I can't just jump into things." "I respect that," he said, his voice low, "but I hope you will consider." The moment lingered as they stood there, surrounded by the aftermath of the concert, the air still crackling with energy. The connection between them felt intense, and yet the shadows of doubt loomed overhead. Mia's heart raced with the uncertainty of embracing this new chapter, even as the allure. As the final notes of the concert echoed into the night, Mia felt the crowd around her begin to disperse, a ripple of excitement turning into a soft hum of chatter. The energy that had once enveloped them was now slowly fading, replaced by the reality of the moment. She turned to James, still slightly breathless from the experience, and found him studying her with a thoughtful expression, his eyes sparkling under the dim lights. "I really did have a great time," she confessed, her voice barely rising above the chatter of the crowd. "I didn't realize how much I needed this." James smiled, the corners of his mouth lifting with genuine warmth. "I am glad to hear that. It is nice to escape the mundane occasionally, isn't it?" "Escape," she echoed, her mind racing. She'd been trying to escape for years, and yet every time she thought she had found a way out, the reality of motherhood grounded her. "I just wish I didn't have to rush back to reality." "Reality can be a drag," he replied, his tone light but his eyes searching. "But it doesn't have to be. You can carve out time for yourself, Mia." His words hit her like a wave. Could it really be that simple? She had always put Noah first, every decision revolving around his needs and happiness. That there were moments, like this one, when she craved something more, something that felt alive and intoxicating. "I should really get going," she said, attempting to quell the fluttering in her chest. "And Noah's probably wondering where I am." "Of course," James replied, though his gaze lingered on her. The weight of his attention sent a warm flush to her cheeks. but can I walk you to your car? I'd like to make sure you get home safe. Mia hesitated. The offer was sweet, but her instinct shouted caution. The last thing she wanted was to confuse things or give him the wrong impression. You don't have to, I'll be fine. Independence is great, but it's nice to have someone by your side every once in a while, he insisted, stepping closer as he motioned toward the exit. I promise I won't bite. Against her better judgment, she found herself smiling. There was something about the way he said that, his playful confidence stirring a curious mix of attraction and caution within her. All right then, just don't slow me down. Deal, he said, his voice teasing as they began to walk through the throngs of people filtering out of the venue. As they made their way through the bustling crowd, James initiated a light conversation, casually asking about how life as a single mom. She found herself sharing snippets, not his love for dinosaurs, the way he could recite every fact about each species, and how he just started learning to play the guitar. Sounds like he is quite the character, James noted, a hint of admiration in his tone. You must be proud. I am, she replied, a smile creeping onto her face. He keeps me grounded in a way that is hard to explain. Sometimes I feel like he teaches me more than I teach him. And how does he feel about his mom going out to see concerts? She laughed softly, the sound bright in the night air. He would have loved to come. He is really into music right now, wants to learn all his favorite songs. Maybe I can take you both to a concert one day, James suggested, his voice casual, as if it were a natural progression of their conversation. Mia stopped in her tracks, startled. That is very generous of you, but I don't know if that is a good idea, she said, her thoughts racing. I mean, it is a lot to introduce someone new into our lives. James turned to face her, his eyes widening slightly. I didn't mean it like that, just a friendly thought, you know? Of course, she replied, her heart pounding. It is just I haven't had anyone besides my son in my life for a long time. It feels like a big step. His expression softened, and for a moment, the teasing banter they shared faded into something deeper. I get it, Mia. Just take your time. I didn't mean to overstep. The sincerity in his voice made her chest tighten. No, you were not. Hey, look, it is not a big deal, he interrupted, raising his hands in mock defense. I am not trying to rush you. I apologize if I came off too strong. No, you didn't, she insisted, her voice a whisper. It is just I haven't let anyone in for a while, and I don't want to mess that up. James regarded her with a thoughtful expression, and for a moment their eyes locked in an understanding that felt electric. You don't have to mess anything up, he said slowly. Whatever this is, it is just two people connecting over a shared love of music. Is that all it is? She asked, her heart racing. The vulnerability in her question hung in the air, thick with tension. He moved slightly closer, his voice low. I don't know, Mia. I feel something between us, and it is more than just music. She swallowed hard, her pulse quickening at his implication. But I am a single mom, she reiterated, almost pleading. I don't want to get swept up in something I can handle. Is that what you were afraid of, that you were going to lose control? He stepped back slightly, his expression shifting from intensity to something gentler. I promise I am not trying to take you away from what matters most to you. But what if it doesn't work out? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper, the possibility of failure looming large. What if I end up feeling more alone than before? James's gaze softened, his tone soothing. Then we'll all figure it out together. I am not here to complicate your life, Mia. I just want to give you the chance to explore what is between us. The sincerity in his voice sent a shiver down her spine. She wanted to believe him, but the doubts gnawed at her insides. You know nothing lasts forever, she murmured, feeling the weight of her own past experiences pressing down on her. What is the point of even trying? Because sometimes the things worth having are the ones that take a leap of faith, he replied, tilting his head slightly, his expression earnest. And maybe we were both looking for that leap right now. Mia searched his eyes, finding a flicker of hope amidst the fear. I've just been so caught up in my responsibilities. I don't know if I can handle more. You won't know unless you try, he said softly, stepping even closer. And I know it is a risk, but isn't life about taking risks? Yes, but she trailed off, unsure of how to articulate the storm of emotions swirling within her. He reached for her hand, his touch gentle yet electrifying. Just think about it. No pressure. When you were ready. As they stood there, hand in hand, the world around them faded into a glow of other concert-goers, the fading music, the vibrant city lights all became background noise to the moment they shared. The palpable tension between them crackled like a live wire, and Mia's heart raced at the intensity of his gaze. For the first time in years, a door opened in her mind, a glimmer of possibility lighting up the darkness. Maybe she could let someone in, just this once. But doubt tugged at her heart, whispering reminders of her responsibilities, her fears, the walls she had erected over time. "Okay," she said finally, her voice trembling slightly as she looked up at him. "I'll think about it." James's expression brightened, his smile radiant. "That is all I ask. I'll be here, and I promise to keep things light." They lingered in that moment, an unspoken understanding blossoming between them. But deep inside, Mia wrestled with her thoughts, knowing she had taken a step into the unknown, one foot still rooted in the safety of her familiar routines, while the other had dared to step forward into the possibilities of a new connection. As they finally approached her car, the gravity of their conversation settled heavily between them, the tension mingling with hope. But she couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of a journey that might lead her down a path she hadn't anticipated, a path filled with uncertainty, but also with the tantalizing promise of something beautiful. "All right," she said, her voice steadying as her hand rested on the car door. "Thank you for walking me. I really appreciate it." James nodded, his eyes filled with a warmth that made her heart flutter. "Anytime, and remember, whenever you're ready." "I will," she replied, feeling a mix of excitement and trepidation. "I'll let you know." With that, she slid into the driver's seat, the warmth of his presence lingering in the air. As she turned the key in the ignition, she cast one last glance at him, a silent promise hanging in the air between them. As he waved goodbye, a smile spreading across his face. As Mia drove away from the concert hall, her mind swelled with thoughts of James. The pulsing energy of the evening lingered in her veins, fueled by the music and the unexpected connection she had shared with him. Glancing in the rearview mirror, she caught sight of him standing there, hands in his pockets, watching her leave with an expression that mixed hope and curiosity. Arriving home, the familiar sounds of Noah's toys scattered across the living room greeted her. The warmth of home enveloped her, but the contrast between the comforting chaos and the exhilarating encounter made her heart race. Her mind drifted back to the ease with which James had drawn her out of her shell, his laughter echoing through her thoughts like the last notes of the concert. "Mom?" Noah called from the kitchen, his voice bright and eager. "Did you have fun?" Mia parked her bag on the hallway table, feeling a twinge of guilt at how much she had enjoyed herself away from him. "I did, sweetheart. The band was amazing." "Did you dance?" he inquired, his eyes wide with excitement as he came barreling into the living room. Mia chuckled, kneeling down to meet his gaze. "I did, but not as well as you would be." Noah grinned, his small chest puffing out with pride. "I could be showing you some cool moves. Maybe next time I can come." "Definitely," she replied, feeling a rush of warmth surge through her. "We'll all go together next time, I promise." As Noah chatted about dinosaurs and his guitar lessons, Mia found herself distracted, her heart still caught in a whirlwind of emotions. She watched her son, sensing how much he thrived on her attention, on her love. But the budding feeling she had for James still loomed in her mind, a new variable in her carefully ordered life. Later that night, as Noah settled in for bed, Mia sat on the edge of his bed, brushing her fingers through his hair. "You know, kiddo, I've been thinking about trying something new. Maybe we could go to a music class together." "Really?" Noah's sleepy eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. "That would be awesome. I want to play everything: guitar, drums, and the piano." His excitement warmed her heart, filling the void of uncertainty she had felt earlier. "Why not start with the guitar then? You're already working on it, right?" "Yeah, I want to learn that cool song by the band you saw." "Exactly. We'll all have our own little jam sessions." After he drifted off to sleep, Mia tiptoed out of his room and sank into the sofa, feeling the weight of the evening settle on her. How did it feel so different? She thought about James's easy laughter, the way his eyes sparkled with mischief, the warmth of his hand on hers. Doubt crept in as she pondered how a relationship with someone like him could fit into her life. Just as she was about to turn on the TV, her phone buzzed on the coffee table, breaking through her thoughts. She picked it up, her heart skipping when she saw James's name light up the screen. "K Mia. Hope you made it home okay. Just wanted to say I really enjoyed tonight. Looking forward to hearing from you." Her heart raced. She considered how to respond, her fingers hovering over the keys. Part of her wanted to dive into the warmth of his attention, but another part, a cautious, practical voice urged her to keep her distance. "I made it home just fine, thanks. The concert was incredible. I had a great time too." As she hit send, she felt a flutter of anticipation mixed with anxiety. The minutes stretched into what felt like hours, her phone silent in her hand. Just as she was about to put it down, a new notification chimed through. Asterisk, I am glad. Maybe we can grab coffee sometime. Asterisk. Her heart raced again, a dance of excitement and fear in her chest. Coffee felt so casual, yet it held the weight of potential. She could almost feel the warm, inviting atmosphere of a coffee shop, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingling with laughter and conversation. Asterisk, I do like that. How about Saturday? Asterisk. Quickly, she pressed send, her palms slightly sweaty as she waited for his reply. Just a few moments later, her phone vibrated again. Asterisk, Saturday it is. Looking forward to it. Maybe I can help you pick a good coffee? Asterisk. Me couldn't he help but smile. His playful tone felt like a warm embrace, seizing her attention. Asterisk, sounds perfect. See you then. Asterisk. With the conversation included, she sank back into the sofa, her heart a mix of eagerness and uncertainty. What would a coffee date entail? Would it be casual, or would her feelings come rushing back to the surface, bringing along the fear of vulnerability? Saturday arrived, and as May prepared for her coffee date, she found herself standing in front of the mirror, adjusting her hair for the 5th time. She wore a simple yet flattering summer dress, a splash of color she hadn't dared to wear in ages. Taking a deep breath, she reminded herself of the importance of this moment, an opportunity to step away from her roles as a mother and dive into something new, something thrilling. After dropping Noah off at his friend's house, May drove to the cafe, her heart racing with both excitement and anxiety. As she entered, the aromas of coffee and baked goods wrapped around her like a comforting blanket. She spotted James sitting at a corner table, casually scrolling through his phone, looking effortlessly charming in a plain white shirt paired with dark jeans. Hey, you made it, he said, his face lighting up as he looked up at her. His smile was warm and genuine, and she felt the flutter of nerves dissipate. Sorry, I hope I am not late, she replied, sliding into the chair across from him, her heart pounding at the sight of him. Not at all. I was just getting lost in thought, he said, putting his phone down. You look great, by the way. Thanks, she said, her cheeks warming slightly. Compliments like that always made her feel vulnerable, caught in the crossfire of insecurity and flattery. You look pretty good yourself. So, what is your go-to drink? He asked, leaning forward slightly, his eyes sparkling with curiosity. Definitely a latte, but I am open to suggestions. You seem like you know your coffee. James chuckled, a sound that sent a pleasant shiver down her spine. I might be a bit of a connoisseur. How about I surprise you? Okay, surprise me, she replied, feeling a thrill of anticipation. His playful confidence was infectious, and she could sense a chemistry crackling between them, warming the air around their table. As he moved to the counter, Mia watched him interact with the barista, his effortless charm captivating everyone around him. There was something magnetic about him. It was hard to ignore the way the world seemed to bend around his presence. When he returned with their drinks, Mia felt a rush of excitement as their fingers brushed when he handed her the cup. Hope you like it. Taking a sip, she closed her eyes for a moment, savoring the flavors mingling on her tongue. This is incredible. You definitely have good taste. Glad to hear it, he said, leaning back in his chair, a playful gleam in his eyes. So, tell me more about you. What do you do when you're not being a supermom? Mia felt a flicker of surprise at his directness, but appreciated his interest. Well, I used to have a career in marketing, but after Noah was born, I decided to focus on him while figuring out my next step. James nodded, his expression attentive. That is admirable. It must be a challenge to balance everything. It is, she admitted, her heart swelling with a mixture of pride and vulnerability. There are days when I feel completely overwhelmed, but Noah makes it worth it. Sounds like a great kid, he said, his tone sincere. I can see how much you care. As the conversation flowed effortlessly, Mia found herself laughing more, the tension of their previous meeting easing away. Each shared story, every laugh, deepened the connection between them, but a persistent doubt hovered at the edges of her mind. What would happen when they grew tired of coffee? What if he didn't understand the depth of her responsibilities? Would he still be interested if he saw the messiness of her life beyond this moment? As if sensing her internal struggle, James shifted the conversation. You know, I am not just a suit and tie. I actually love getting my hands dirty, too. Mia raised an eyebrow, intrigued. Really? What do you mean? I dabble in woodworking, he replied, his eyes lighting up. Building furniture and things like that. It is therapeutic for me, a way to disconnect from the corporate world. Wow, that's impressive. I can barely put together IKEA furniture without getting frustrated. James laughed, the sound echoing like music in her ears. I can help you with that. I promise not to judge your furniture assembly skills. She grinned, enjoying the banter. Alright, I'll take you up on that. As they continued to sip their coffee, Mia felt both at ease and exhilarated. James's presence was comforting, yet there was an undeniable tension simmering between them, an electric charge that made her pulse quicken. The cafe buzzed with life around them, but for her, everything else faded into a soft blur. So, James said, his voice warm and inviting, if you could do anything right now, no responsibilities holding you back, what would it be? Mia stared at him, momentarily caught off guard. The question was deceptively simple, yet it stirred something inside her. Anything? She echoed, her mind racing. I guess I'd travel. There are places I've always wanted to see, like Italy or Japan. Great choices. What is stopping you? A cloud of doubt settled over her. Life, I suppose. Noah's schooling, my job. It's hard to think about traveling when my days revolve around his needs. James nodded thoughtfully. I get that it's easy to lose sight of your own dreams when you have someone else relying on you. His understanding made her heart swell. Exactly. It's not that I don't love being a mom, I do, but sometimes I feel like I am just existing. James leaned forward, his gaze penetrating. You're more than just a mom, Mia. You're a person with dreams and desires. It is okay to acknowledge that. A warmth spread through her, but it was quickly laced with uncertainty. But isn't that selfish? I don't want to feel like I am abandoning Noah. Seeking happiness for yourself doesn't mean you're abandoning him. In fact, it can enrich both your lives. It's about balance. His words echoed in her mind. Did she really have to choose between her happiness and Noah's? As she mulled it over, she caught sight of a nearby table where a couple sat, hands intertwined and laughter spilling forth. A pang of longing enveloped her, twisting her heart. Do you have any siblings? She asked suddenly, seeking distraction. Yeah, I have a younger sister, he replied, his tone shifting to fondness. She's back in New York, working in fashion, always the creative one, and you? I am an only child, Mia said, a hint of sadness creeping into her voice. Sometimes I wish I had siblings to share the experience of motherhood with. James tilted his head, empathy radiating from him. It can feel isolating, I imagine. It can, she admitted, her eyes drifting away. But I have Noah, and that is more than enough. Of course, he seems like a great kid, he replied, his voice low and sincere. And I can see how much you adore him, it shows. Just then, the cafe door swung open, and a gust of wind rushed in, sending the scent of rain mingling with coffee. Mia glanced outside, noticing dark clouds gathering above. Looks like it might rain, she remarked, her heart fluttering with a mix of nerves and excitement at the potential shift in mood. Yeah, just in time for our coffee date, James said, his lips quirking up in a playful grin. How poetic. Or disastrous, she joked, a lightness returning to her. What if we get caught in it? Why didn't he bring an umbrella? James chuckled, an easy warmth radiating from him. Then we'll have a rain-soaked adventure. I promise I won't let you drown. Mia couldn't help but laugh, the image of them dashing through the rain somehow charming rather than daunting. All right, Mr. Knight in shining armor, I'll hold you to that. Their playful banter continued, an easy rhythm developing as they sipped their drinks. With every shared laugh and earnest glance, the initial tension became more palpable, mingling with a sense of comfort that made Mia's heart race. How about you? She asked suddenly, wanting to know more about him. What do you do when you're not, being the charming gentleman at a coffee shop? James leaned back, considering her question. Well, I tend to immerse myself in my work, but I try to make time for hobbies too. I am really into photography. Photography? She asked, intrigued. That sounds amazing. What do you like to shoot? Nature mostly, and street photography when I am in the city. There is something magical about capturing a moment that can never be replicated. Wow, Mia breathed, her eyes sparkling. Do you have a favorite photo? James's face lit up, a genuine smile breaking through. Yeah, there is this one I took at a park last fall. The colors were so vibrant. I'd love to see it sometime, she said, her heart fluttering at the thought of sharing more with him. Consider it a date, he replied, his gaze intense. Mia felt the blush creep up her cheeks. A coffee date and a photo date, you were really pulling out all the stops. Only for the best, he shot back, both of them laughing as the playful banter resumed. But amidst the lightheartedness, a question lingered in her mind, casting a shadow over her heart. What if he truly meant that? What if he was genuinely interested in her? The thought sent a shiver of fear through her. As they continued to talk, she felt a mixture of hope and anxiety. Could she really allow herself to embrace this connection? The thought of her relationship, with all its complexities, felt like an insurmountable mountain. "Hey," James said gently, pulling her from her thoughts. "You okay?" Mia blinked, realizing she had been quiet for too long. "Yeah, just thinking." "About?" he prompted, a softness in his voice that made her stomach flutter. "About this," she murmured, unsure if she should reveal her fears. "Asa." His brow furrowed, curiosity dancing in his eyes. "Yeah," she began hesitantly. "I don't know how this is going to work. I have responsibilities. I can't just dive headfirst into something and risk it all." James reached across the table, his hand grazing hers. "You're not diving in alone. I am here too." The warmth of his touch sparked something deep inside her, but doubt still pinned her to the sea. What if it doesn't work? What if I end up feeling more alone than before? "It is okay to be scared, Mia," he said softly. "But don't let fear stop you from exploring something beautiful. You deserve that." His words enveloped her, wrapping around her like a warm hug. She wanted to reach out, to grasp the possibility of something more, but the weight of her past held her back. "I am just afraid," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "I am afraid of getting hurt again." James's expression softened, his thumb brushing gently across the back of her hand. "I am not here to hurt you. I understand your hesitations, and I am willing to take it slow." Mia looked up, meeting his gaze, and for a moment the world around them fell away. She could see the sincerity in his eyes, the promise of something real. But the shadows of doubt still lingered. "I just don't want to mess things up," she confessed, her voice trembling. "You won't mess anything up," he assured her. "We'll figure it out together, one step at a time." The warmth of his reassurance washed over her, and for the first time she felt a flicker of hope amidst the chaos of her insecurities. Maybe, just maybe, she could let him in. The cafe's ambience shifted as the rain began to patter softly against the windows, creating a soothing rhythm that matched the pulse of her heart. "Okay," she said, her voice steadier now. "I'll try." James's eyes sparkled with joy, and he squeezed her hand gently. "That is all I ask. Let us embrace the journey wherever it takes us." With that, Mia took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her fears begin to lift. In that small moment of connection, she found the courage to explore the possibilities ahead, knowing that whatever came next, they would navigate it together. As they shared a smile, the rain continued to dance against the glass, and for the first time in a long time, Mia felt the exhilaration of possibility bloom within her heart.